I've always found smart cubes to be a very interesting topic. I love the idea of smart cubes, however, in practice, I just can't use them consistently. Not because the hardware is bad, I mean, the hardware has actually been pretty good for quite some time now. Instead, it's because of the software. A lot of the smart cube apps that are out there are just not very good. Right, the usability just isn't great, and a lot of them have a bunch of extra bloat that just isn't needed. So I personally prefer just using a normal timer with a normal cube. Also, something more specific to me is that a lot of these apps only really focus on CFOP. Again, for the 1 millionth time, I use Roux, and that has significantly cut down the amount of apps I can use. So it goes without saying that using smart cubes has been a frustrating experience for me until recently. I've been having a much better time with my smart cubes because of acubemy. So this is acubemy. I personally recommend using it with a smart cube, but it isn't needed. Once your cube is connected, the first thing you might realize is that acubemy has gyro support. Now, gyro support isn't 100% needed, but I'm very happy it's here because it's something that I actually missed when I was using CubeBeast. Once you have done a solve, acubemy will show you your splits. As you can see, these are my splits for my most recent Roux solve. Something cool about the Roux splits is that it doesn't freak out whenever you do mismatched centers during first two blocks. CubeBeast, on the other hand, really doesn't like when I do this and incorrectly calculates my splits, so it's pretty cool that acubemy does allow for me to use mismatched centers. To the left, you will see a list of all of your times in the respective TPS, and if you press the TPS or the time button, you can actually sort the data respectively, which is pretty cool. To the right, you will see a list of your averages and a nice graph that you can use to display that data. Right above this are some buttons for tournaments and the daily scramble. Personally, I have been competing in just about every tournament since I started using the app, and I really enjoy them. At the top of the page, you will have 4 different tabs that you can switch between. The Playground tab, which is what we're on now, the Training tab, the Statistics tab, and the Match tab. And that is the Playground tab, where you will be spending most of your time on acubemy. I feel like now is a great time to mention that acubemy has a mobile app, which is amazing because when I'm not recording my solves, I do about 80% of my time solves on my phone. Acubemy having an iOS app is clutch and is the biggest reason why I've made the switch to acubemy and haven't looked back since. One complaint I had about CubeBeast was I just didn't like how the stats were displayed. Acubemy does a much better job. Everything here is pretty self-explanatory. You can view all of your singles and your averages of 5, 12, and 100. It's just a bit easier for me to digest than CubeBeast, at least in my opinion. However, I do wish that you can change the graph to display other stats besides solve time, like TPS or move count for example. This is the main thing that I do miss from CubeBeast. When you click on a solve, you will be presented with a page that goes through the details of the solve. The main statistics, the scramble, the reconstruction, and the analysis. This page is very similar to what CubeBeast does, but a bit more minimalistic. Now's a good time to mention that acubemy has both a free tier and a paid tier. Everything that I have mentioned so far is available on the free tier, which is awesome. The paid tier gives access to F2L, OLL, PLL, and even CMLL stats and training. So as you do solves, your algorithm stats will populate, and you can see which algorithms you have trouble on and which ones you're good at. Unfortunately for us Roux users, CMLL isn't fully supported yet in that it won't track your CMLLs during your solves. However, the algorithm set was just added recently, and full support for CMLL is currently being worked on and will be out sometime in the near future. Like I said, you can also train your algs. You can create your own custom training, or you can have acubemy create one automatically for you. Now, I don't drill my algs much, so I haven't gotten much use out of this feature yet, but once CMLL is fully supported, I'll probably start using it. So if you're interested in the paid tier, you can use code ALEX20 for a discount. Acubemy also has an insights view that takes your average splits and compares them to an ideal split of a specific time goal of your choosing. For me, I am comparing my average Roux splits to an ideal 10-second Roux solve. As you can see, my LSE is pretty good, but my second block definitely needs some work, and I should probably start drilling my CMLL. This is available for both CFOP and Roux, with ZZ apparently coming soon, which is nice. Acubemy has a lot of cool features for racing other cubers. I'll start with the match tab where you can 1v1 another cuber either locally or online. For local matches, all you have to do is connect a second smart cube and then you're good to go. I don't use this feature that much because I am more focused on practicing and stats, but it seems pretty cool. Another reason why I don't use it that much is because I am much more focused on tournaments. Acubemy holds tournaments fairly often where you can compete against other cubers to win prizes. You can win shop vouchers or even acubemy premium, which is pretty nice. I personally don't care that much about the prizes because I just like competing in the tournaments. It's good practice. I like using it as my sort of competition simulation in a way. I average around like 10 seconds and I'm able to consistently get into finals, which I like so I can get, more practice. So if you're faster than me, please don't do any tournaments. There's also a daily scramble where you compete against a bunch of other cubers to see who gets the best time on the daily scramble. I don't use this feature that much, but honestly, now that I think about it, it seems pretty cool and I should probably start using it. So I have definitely been glazing acubemy for the past couple of minutes. But there is one thing that I really wish acubemy had that it just doesn't, and that is Bluetooth stack mat support. I love my GAN Halo timer. I liked using it with cubies even with a smart cube, but acubemy just doesn't support it yet. Bluetooth timer support is on the roadmap and should hopefully come sometime in the future, which is nice. And that is the gist of acubemy. I have known about this app for quite some time now. They even reached out to me like a bit over a year ago, and I was gonna try it out, but I just wasn't able to. I was so focused on 2 years of Roux. That video, yeah, it was in production for like forever. It took a long time. Anyways, I finished it and they reached out to me again. And man, am I happy they reached out again because I genuinely enjoy the app. If they didn't reach out, I probably wouldn't have tried it, but they did. And like I said, I genuinely enjoy it. So yes, I am partnering with them to make this video, but everything I've said so far is my opinion, and I do genuinely love the app. So thank you guys for the opportunity. This has been a lot of fun working with you. And I'm sorry for ghosting you the first time. That's my bad. That's my bad. That's on me. So yeah, acubemy is my main timer at the moment. Now I still use CS timer for drills and practice. I don't do that many time solves on CS timer. I would say about like 80 to 90% of my time solves are on acubemy. The other like 10 to 20% is on cube time with just a normal cube. So I've been using smart cubes a lot more consistently, and it's been a lot more fun. I love seeing the stats. And honestly, acubemy is just a fun app to use. I really like it. Again, this app does have a free tier and a paid tier. The free tier is really good, and the paid tier takes something that is really good and makes it even better. So if you're interested in the paid tier, you can use code ALEX20 for a discount. And if you're not, the free tier is amazing. I highly recommend acubemy. It has genuinely improved my experience with smart cubes.
Connection failed. Please try again.
This junk sucks.
It's actually the worst. Hope you know that. Look, it's not even connecting, dude.
Wow. Look, acubemy works just fine. You see this? Wow, look, it works just fine. Please wake up the cube for I just showed you, it's awake.
It's right, like 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now I do this. The cube is awake, dog. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. Okay. Dude, are we serious? Look how terrible this is. I hate this app. Oh my gosh, it doesn't work. It says it's freaking connected. It's not connected. It's not connected. It's not doing anything.